Hello. Alright, so last night, I made a 67-minute video, and so I use this pro app on my tablet to basically I just get video and put the audio over it and then upload it to YouTube. But whenever I was doing that, I didn't have enough space on my tablet. And instead of just making just enough, I was like, because I just finally had enough, I was like, alright, this tablet's getting way too full, and I hate trying to do stuff and it being full, so I was just like, alright, I'm just going to do this now, I'm going to clean out everything that I need to. And, well, I started going through things and deleting them, and come to find out, I fucking delete the audio that I had. Because it was in like a folder with all these podcasts that I download, and I thought they were just all old podcasts that I had already listened to, so I was like, oh, okay, this is why I haven't had much space, so I just deleted them, not realizing that that was in there. And the tablet doesn't have any kind of recycle bin, and I do put my files onto Google Drive, but I actually did. I tried to put this file on there because because I couldn't get it to transfer the normal way, so I was gonna put it on Google Drive and then get it onto my editing software, but then it didn't even go to Google, which Google Drive does that sometimes. My files won't upload, and then I'll have to re-upload them. I don't know what that's about, but yeah, I got so angry though. Like I've been really calm like the past, I'd say, month. My anger is just sort of diminished. Like I get angry at work and I get frustrated with my girlfriend and friends and my mom sometimes, but it's not like anger. I'm not like, cuz I used to like punch holes in walls and stab TVs and like just get really angry and just not be able to deal with anger. Which, anger is a funny emotion because uh, I I heard from Heron Stone once, um, if you're angry, it's usually because they're flaunting, like somebody's flaunting something, like putting out there, like just expressing it without any reserve. Something that you're just trying so hard to hold back and not see inside yourself. And yeah, usually that's pretty much the case if I really want to look at it. I come to the conclusion that that's pretty much right because yeah, anger is like it's derived out of fear. It's like a fear of like or I don't know, fear of miss. I don't know if that's right, but like yeah, I don't know, but yeah, I was so angry last night, and like, but this was weird. This was like a weird kind of anger because this wasn't me being angry at. This was me being angry at myself for like letting something that I care about and like because I haven't made a video in a while and like I finally made it and it was like 67 minutes and it was like a lot of good stuff and I was just like, because that was the like I can't go back and try to recreate that video. I mean I could, but it would just be like me trying to fragment it back together, and it would obviously be me trying to make that. So I'm going to try to bring up some of the stuff again, but yeah, it's a lot better when it just happens off the top of your head and But yeah, I finally got over it. Cause it's just, I really I've never lost stuff. I've never really been worried about losing. Like, I mean, I've lost stuff on games before, but it's like a video game, you know? You don't care about it. This is part of what I'm trying to do with my life, you know? I'm trying to build these ideas and put them together and then uh, share them in some way. And that was me doing that, and I was just like, how could I just... Because I know I was in a rush to get all the stuff deleted out of my tablet because I was frustrated with that. And I just was not paying attention, and I just fucking deleted it. And just, But it's okay. Here we are. I was gonna meditate. I think I breathed a few times, and I was just like, okay, you know, this is silly. I don't need to be angry, you know. I don't have to get my body all tense. But, you know, I do want to, you know, remember and have in mind to not fucking, to be more careful with my audio, you know, and so yeah. But yeah, I just sort of caught up a lot on my last, that's what I was doing a lot of sort of catching up, or filling in the blanks about this past few months, because I've been gone for a while, and, well, you know, I've just really hadn't been as motivated as I was when I started making these videos, because I had started smoking very, very copious amounts of marijuana, and I was drinking, and I was just not really being focused. Like, I was doing enough to sort of think that I was doing something, like I was meditating and stuff, and reading, but I wasn't really, being, like I wasn't really talking to people anymore, like my girlfriend and my friends. I wasn't being honest. It was just kind of like holding this stuff in and thinking that I was being more enlightened and on a path towards changing the world, and which I am. It's just like sometimes I get in this state where I'm just like trying to be separate from people by thinking that I'm doing better than they are. And in some ways I was, though, because we were not being productive friends. We were just kind of partying and freaking trying to not think about the sort of issues and things that we needed to deal with that were right here in front of us. We were just like, meh, you know? And yeah, me and my girlfriend were fighting a lot, and it just was just not going very well. And then a week before the 21st, I mean, before that, I was like realizing that I wasn't being the best human. Which, I mean, shit, I mean, I do realize I need sympathy, you know? I am an unconscious fucking language monkey. I put my so-called self in front of the world and the universe, and not really, and just sort of do what I wants. But that's what is the question, though. What is this I, and if there is this I, what does it want? Or what do you do if there is no I? Because if there is no I, there's still here. So what do you do when you're here? That's what I've been sort of, yeah, that's what I've been trying to figure out. And, I've had these, like, uh, mind programs running where I'm like, oh, I gotta hang out with people, or I gotta smoke weed, or I gotta do this to feel this way, or, if yeah, like if I'm around people, like I gotta have alcohol or weed so I could be around them and be able, but honestly, I've been noticing that doesn't, substances, they don't work for me unless it's in a strict sort of sense, like in a very connective to the divine sort of, like it's really, I mean, it's good for, like, if I go outside and I'm on walks and stuff, yeah, I like to be high. I mean, and we, and then, yeah, and like when it's nice out, I like to do psychedelics outside. That's fun. Now, mostly though, it's really a sort of something at least like DMT is something I do in more of a inside meditative, like, all right, let's go inside. I try to have it dark. Sometimes it's not dark. Sometimes because sometimes I don't feel like doing it until the day. It just depends. Um, but as far as like social use and just daily use is really unnecessary. And I've well, see, that was really helpful whenever I was trying not to deal with a lot of stuff, but I'm really trying to clear up my head and move on instead of, because I mean that's what I've been doing. I mean that's what been doing that for a while, but I've just had stuff come up and then I want to run from it, or at least in the beginning all the stuff come up whenever I had first decided or was first deciding to try to deal with it, and like in those times you don't really know, or I didn't really quite get what was going on, and you just do what you do and try to make the best out of it where you're at. And I mean now it's cleared up a lot. It's good. It's good now. All right. Um yeah, so over um over the week before, like a week before, on the 21st, the 22nd, and the day Star Wars came out, it, okay, here, I'll just start. Well, yeah, I took San Pedro Cactus 3 times last month, and that, oh my goodness. I have I, okay, so whenever I first started smoking weed when I was 17, that December I read Eckhart Tolle's book, The Power of Now. And that really is where I first started to like try to be aware of my body and get some presence. And I sort of had some like some breakthrough with that book at that time. And but on this San Pedro, I really like something from like my sex chakra, if we want to call it that. Just the energy in that area just completely like got turned on. Like it wasn't like normal sexual energy. It was like it literally was like from the complete most innerest inside of me out. It was just like just coming out, the energy. It was like being released. It was like it definitely wasn't like having sex for the first time, because my first sexual experience, I, I can't say it was that wonderful, but um, yeah, I would say this was my first sexual experience as far as like feeling like sexually moved from the core. I I thought it, because it's like that's what the cactus. And I read about that. They're like, this is very like orgasmic. It's like a very male presence, and it's like very. Oh yeah, because I was like, that was something I realized I was missing, was the male connection, the male, and not like in a homosexual way. Like it can be taken that way, but not. That's not what I necessarily meant. Like it was like there's a part of me yearning for more male attention, as far as spiritually, emotionally, and mentally. And I mean, there is a space there for physical contact, but that's not necessary. That's just the same with women. Like you don't I mean, you have sex for babies, but then, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. This was what I was trying to talk about yesterday. Was I think it's the third level. It might be the second. Is also has sex on it, on Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Because we yearn for a physical connection that's not to do with survival. It's to do with two beings coming together, you know? And yeah, I guess I just realized that I was sort of missing that, because really for like the past year, the closest person I've been to is my girlfriend. And she really helped pull me out of a hole back in the spring, because I was very just not alright. Like I'd be alright for a little bit, but it was like I was always being sprung back by this rubber band, and like I could never get forward. And like that's how I felt since like I was like 8 or so. Like I would try to do things, or at least since like high school, I would like try to work out, and like I was trying to, do stuff, and like, well, I mean, my reason, because I wanted a girlfriend, and like to look, because I thought I looked fat back then and stuff. But like I would try to exercise, and like, or even like video games, like this video game I played, like I would try to accomplish things like like tasks that would take months, and like I just give up. I don't know, I just didn't stick with things, and like if I tried, it just seemed like I would always get set back. And back in the spring, it was like I saw that she was just being happy without any kind of like external stimulus. It was like coming from the inside out. And I got jealous. I was like, I want that. What the fuck? I didn't know you were happy. I've been pretty miserable over here. You're this happy? How did you get this happy? Well, come to find out, well, these psychedelics we were taking, I was just kind of like, I would go into it a little bit and like, get something out of it, but like I wouldn't go into it and come out and be like, oh, like live it and like be it and feel it and share it and be be the message. And she was, and I was like, oh, okay. And I started sharing and talking about myself and my past and trying to tell her who I was. And Yeah, it was really good. Really good. I was sort of riding off of that for like months and months and months. And I just had like a sort of down peak of that uh, through the fall and up until I did the San Pedro and and also with the San Pedro. So cuz then like I was like, well, yeah, I was also like, it was like probably mid-November. I realized that there needed to be a change. Like I was like, well, yeah, because me and my girlfriend had a really big fight, and I realized that it had gone too far, and I was just really shocked at how far I had taken it. And yeah, yeah. And so my silly, well, actually, I had been planning on taking psychedelics on the 21st for like I had DMT saved back, but then I was like, I want to do some sandpit. Like I want to do a psychedelic. I want like a long like something that's gonna last for hours. Cause yeah, I was just like well, I wasn't really. I didn't think I really needed to change. I thought not change. I thought I was being alright for the most part. I thought it was everybody else's issue, and that they needed to change, and that, yeah, holy shit. I really did think it was like, I'm like just coming out of this. Like, I had like totally twisted it and like lost a lot of personal power. Like, I was just giving up my whole self to my friend James and my girlfriend. And I was just sort of letting them run my show. And like, yeah. And then I pushed it off till we did the San Pedro. I was like, that's gonna make me like feel better. Like I'm gonna get some resolve out of that. And I did. And well, yeah, I mean, not in the way that I thought, like, because I didn't know that I was blaming all my issues on other people and projecting it upon them. And I started thinking about it, and I realized how ridiculous I was. And, like, there was a funny feeling, but I was like, if they're so, why am I, like, yelling at them and getting so angry if they're the ones, if they were the issue, then I wouldn't be angry. You know? So, you gotta take a step back and be like, oh, okay, what am I doing here that's making this fucked up? Or, what story have I gotten in that's turned this situation into what it is? And normally it's because I mean, thinking of yourself as an I is okay. And yeah, and my friend James was trying to tell me about how ridiculously entranced I was being. And I remember him telling me he had a dream about me, and he was trying to tell me that I could take control of the dream, that this was a dream, and could do whatever you want. And I just wouldn't believe him, apparently, in the dream. And yeah, and I really wasn't realizing that this is my dream, and we can dream any dream we want. Yes. Now, okay, so the San Pedro was very, very, very spiritual, to put I don't know, it like there was all this like ancestor symbology and metaphor, and just that's what I don't know, maybe it's because I was the documentaries that I was watching about it, and I was like reading into the peoples that have traditionally used San Pedro, and you know how they talk about the ancestors, and I know that sounds really crazy, but in a sense our thoughts now are our ancestors, because our thoughts now are the product of their thought and our thought put together. Or, yeah, no, it's a product of all of their thought put together into us, and us changing it into our thought. So our thought does come from our ancestors. That's what guides us. And not only that, like our ancestors are in the plants, in the dirt, and and everything. I mean, maybe that's just how I was seeing it and I was tripping. But I don't know, I remember walking and I was just like, I'm stepping on the ancestors right now. Like, this is where they dwell. This is where you go whenever you die. Or, well, I don't know about, like, I'm just strictly meaning the physical part of it. Whatever else there is, I don't know. Well, I think they're probably the same thing. But yeah, very much that. And then um, we were outside around this fire, and that's when the whole sexual energy thing started, and I started thinking about that and what that meant, and what I don't know. I had a sort of a gay twist on it then, but it wasn't really what it was. It was just the the lack of male connection in my life, and and how both female and male sexual energy go, that each being has a space for both, and that I don't know, it's just something I experienced. I don't know, I guess I really shouldn't be trying to put feelings into words. I mean, you can't really feel it from my words, but maybe it will tickle your thought. I don't know. Oh, and then the next day we came home and we did some more, and it was so heavenly. Like, I just had so much light and dark energy symbology in my mind. Like, I don't know, it was just like seeing angels and spirits like being formed out of the white light, and like, well, the spirits or whatever, or ghosts, I don't know. I was thinking about that, and what that might be is like energy or thoughts that haven't been fully connected back up with the rest of what's connected, and it being like trapped in dark, like sort of trapped in darkness. Like, I don't know, cause like, okay, so I've been doing DMT recently, and there's like, I don't know, like you see where your brain, like where your connections are, and like where you leave certain thoughts at, and like they end up being like fragments of thoughts. I don't know, it was just really visually coming to me on the San Pedro, and I was just thinking of it in terms of spirits and angels, and I mean, all of that's obviously crazy talk, but I mean, I'm not like being. See, I feel like I can. deal with it because I don't know, when I normally think of people who have those things, I'm like, oh, they like the angels and demons like take over their mind and tell them what to do. But that's not what this is. This is me experiencing them. Alright. Because I've seen some pretty dark stuff too, as long with the beautiful alien and angels and fractals and patterns that I've seen. There's some fucked up ones too. They're pretty unique and full of dimension at both ends of the spectrum. But oh yeah, we were outside though for the beginning of it before it was very light and dark. It was well, that's when I started realizing how much I was projecting myself upon other people, and uh, I don't know, yeah, that it sort of was able to bring me into my mind and sort of um, correct my thinking about people and life and how I was being. And it was very, I would say the San Pedro is very clear, but it it gave a similar effect as like the LSD I had back in the spring. It was I don't know, it was very much go into your story and figure it out and try to change some things. I don't know, it was pretty cool. And so there was a couple weeks of a break after that, and then these past 2 weeks yeah, these past 2 weeks I've been doing DMT, and oh my goodness, I love DMT so much. That is so strange. It's so like it feels more me than like it's a very it's like very like it feels very much like it's a part of my brain. Like it's not it I it's so difficult to say this, but it has become so less alien this past 2 weeks. Like it started out as like all the beings and faces that I was seeing I was associated with aliens and like elves and and all of that, and that's there, like you can see it that way. But if you go into it with your own personal thing, there's like, well, I guess it's not, I mean, it's okay. I don't feel the words coming out for these experiences today. I feel like yesterday it just I was just able to say it. Today I don't know, I'm not, it's really difficult to say. Um, yeah, very much, there's not much dark in the way of light for me right now. It's like the darkness is what's ahead, you know? Right here, I can see. I mean, I don't know what the future will bring. There's no security. But that's okay. Fuck. It'll be alright. Been alright so far. I mean, might die, but what the hell is that? Anyway, oh yeah, on the San Pedro, I really um it was very much like you didn't really need to do all this to get to feeling alright and wanting to clean up your life and do things, you know. And it's right. I didn't. I can feel that now. There's nothing in the way of it. Nothing. Just it. Just do it. Just fucking do it. And we'll see. I get tricky with this. You just yeah. Thank you very much. Oh shit. I need to do that. I remembered to do that before I went to bed, and then I was like, I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna write down my goals and priorities, which I have some, but I feel like I need to rewrite them every time I get to this place. Because, I mean, I have what I have in my mind, like what I'm working towards. Like, I'm trying to get a better grip on myself and my emotions, and trying to express myself and be more honest in relationships, and trying to find better ways to make money, and uh, trying to make more connections and meet more people who um, yeah, could just be friends along the same path that I'm going. I don't know. I haven't read my goals in a while, so that's why I need to do that. I'm glad I remembered. Yeah. It's really difficult to say much without having goals, cuz like I'm saying stuff, but it's like I don't know where I'm getting at with all this. It's really helped me, but I don't know what sense this might make for anybody else. Well, I mean, that's not really for me to think about, but I mean, well, I mean, I don't want to just put out garbage. I mean, I I do want to caution people in just trying to take psychedelics to cure yourself or fix yourself, or I mean, I think they're useful in uh, trying to figure out who you are and what consciousness is and what that sort of means for you. Um, yeah. Yeah. DMT is very much like you can try to connect it all, and you can have several maps for those, and you're still not gonna get it. You know, all those maps. I mean, it's fun. All of that is fun trying to understand it and put it into words and pictures and all that, but like, until you just do it, it's just not what the words are. Just like I am not I, the word I, and Kaylee isn't Kaylee, but that's what whatever she is called. But here we are. I don't know. I'm oh well. Alright. It's whatever. Here we are. Alright, I think I'm gonna end this one. Yeah. So goodbye. If you have questions, you can ask me. I'm pretty open to just about anything. I've heard a lot of fucked up shit. So it's probably not gonna be too much for me. But anyway, have fun. Bye. Fuck this shit! Why? Double save your bullshit! Austin, you fucking dumbass language machine! Figure out how to fucking use a tablet, not delete all your goddamn shit! Fucking save some money and put it on an external hard drive or a fucking USB drive, you dumbass! Why do you gotta fucking play with technology like it's a fucking piece of paper? It's not. You're gonna lose your shit, dumbass. Don't fucking forget this. Unless you want to fucking lose your fucking career and your art. Okay. This is bullshit. Quit beating yourself up.